This video contains affiliate links, and I earn a referral fee if you use the services mentioned at no extra cost to you, because they're the best in the industry. Introduction to starting a land clearing business in the USA in 2026. Land clearing is the process of removing trees, brush, rocks, stumps, and other obstacles from a property to prepare it for construction, agriculture, residential development, or other uses. It involves methods like bulldozing, mulching, excavation, grading, selective clearing, pushover techniques, and even eco-friendly options like controlled burns or using livestock for grazing. As a business, it serves clients such as builders, developers, homeowners, farmers, and commercial entities. The industry is part of the broader construction and excavation sector, which is projected to grow by about 11% through 2028, driven by infrastructure projects, urban expansion, and renewable energy developments like solar farms. In 2026, with ongoing economic recovery and federal investments in infrastructure, for example, via the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, demand remains strong, especially in growing regions like the Southeast, Midwest, and rural areas. However, challenges include rising equipment costs due to inflation, up 5 to 10% annually, stricter environmental regulations under EPA guidelines, and competition from established firms. Starting this business can be lucrative. Average revenue for a small operation might range from $100,000 to $500,000 annually, with profit margins of 30 to 50% after covering costs like fuel and labor. Starting a business usually costs between $86,500 and $247,000. Equipment costs range from $50,000 to $150,000. Insurance costs between $5,000 and $10,000 a year. Costs for permits range from $500 to $2,000. Success really hinges on what the locals want. Texas, Florida, and Georgia are booming with great potential. This guide provides a comprehensive step-by-step process based on expert sources. It focuses on U.S. assessment-specific requirements with details on regulations, costs, equipment specs, and strategies to ensure profitability and compliance. Before we dive into the video, let me introduce you to Busy, a professional formation service company that specializes in helping you file your LLC or corporation. Busy is an amazing company that simplifies the entire process of creating your LLC. They even offer a service where they'll file your LLC on your behalf, saving you from all the hassle. A full review of Busy is available in the description box below. Step 1. Research and understand the industry. Before investing, gain a deep understanding of land clearing to assess if it fits your skills and location. What it involves: core services include tree stump removal, brush clearing, grading, excavation, debris hauling, disposal, and utility installation. Methods vary: bulldozing for quick removal, using dozers to push vegetation; mulching, grinding into mulch to prevent erosion; eco-friendly, selective clearing, preserving habitats; pushover, uprooting trees with roots intact; manual tools for small jobs, chainsaws, axes, or controlled burns with permits. In 2026, sustainable practices like mulching are prioritized due to EPA's focus on erosion control and wetland protection. Market analysis. Review local demand by checking county planning offices for construction permits, for example, via public records or tools like Google Maps. Analyze competitors. Search for land clearing near me and note their services, pricing, equipment, and reviews. Identify gaps like specializing in forestry mulching for rural areas or eco-friendly clearing for urban developers. National trends show growth in forestry mulching due to its efficiency. Expect 10 to 15% industry expansion in 2026 from renewable projects. Skills needed: no formal degree required, but experience in heavy equipment operation. For example, OSHA 10-hour training is essential. If inexperienced, start by subcontracting with tree services or renting equipment. Timeline and feasibility: allow 3 to 6 months for research. Costs free online to $500 consultants. Tip: time your start for spring-summer peak seasons when construction ramps up. Step 2. Validate your business idea and conduct market research. Confirm viability through data-driven validation. Local demand check. Use tools like Google Trends or county zoning sites to track development projects. Network with general contractors, farmers, and real estate agents. via LinkedIn or local events. In 2026, focus on emerging markets like solar farm clearing in states with green incentives, for example, California, Texas. Competitor analysis. List 5 to 10 local firms. Note their strengths, for example, large fleets, and weaknesses, for example, slow response times. Differentiate by offering 24/7 emergency services or bundled grading. Customer insights. Survey potential clients, for example, via free tools like Google Forms on needs and pain points. Aim for 20 to 30 responses. Financial projections. Estimate revenue. Acre pricing, $1,200, $6,000 light, $1,200, $2,500, heavy, $4,500 plus. Based on vegetation, density, terrain, and location. Break even in 6 to 12 months with 5 to 10 jobs a month. Resources. Consult experts like non-competitive operators or join forums. Cost $0, $1,000 travel networking. Step 3. Create a detailed business plan. This document guides your operations and secures funding. Key sections. Executive summary. Services, for example, residential versus commercial. Target market, for example, developers in growing suburbs. Competitive analysis. Marketing strategy. Financials, startup costs. 3-year projections. Operations plan, equipment, staffing. Financial details. $15,000, $30,000 for first 6 months fuel, repairs. Aim for over $200,000 in revenue in year 1. Exciting updates for 2026. Factor in rising fuel costs. Project 5% increase in tech integrations like AI for estimates. Timeline 2 to 4 weeks. Cost. Free online templates or $500, $2,000. Step 4. Choose business structure and register your business. Structures. Sole proprietorship, simple, no protection, partnership. LLC recommended for liability shield, tax flexibility, corporation for scaling. Opt for LLC to protect personal assets from lawsuits, for example, equipment accidents. Registration, file with State Secretary of State, $100, $500 fee. Choose a unique name via search tools. Get EIN, free from irs.gov for taxes, banking. Bonds are needed in some places, ranging from $100 to $1,000. USA specifics varies by state. For example, California needs environmental bonds. Texas emphasizes contractor licenses. Timeline, 1 to 4 weeks. Cost $100, $1,000. Step 5. Obtained licenses, permits, and certifications. Compliance is critical to avoid fines up to $10,000 plus. Key requirements. General contractor license state-specific. For example, exam based in Florida. Environmental permits, EPA for wetlands, runoff, and disturbance. Grading permits $500, $2,000, 4 to 6 weeks approval. OSHA safety certification, CDL for trucks, if over 26,000 pounds GVWR, per job permits, check local municipality for zoning, tree removal in protected areas, or burns. 2026 notes. Increased focus on sustainabilities. Certify in erosion control, for example, via NRCS programs. Waste disposal requires EPA-compliant haulers. Timeline, 4 to 8 weeks. Cost $500, $2,000. Step 6. Secure funding and manage finances. Sources: SBA 7A loans, $50,000, $250,000. 10 to 20% down, 5 to 10% interest equipment financing, for example, CAT Financial. USDA rural grants for qualifying areas, personal savings or investors, money-saving tips. Start small rent equipment initially, $500, $1,000 day via Sunbelt Rentals. Buy used, save 30 to 50%. Accounting setup: use QuickBooks or hire a CPA. Open a business bank account, for example, Chase Business. Process payments via low-fee apps, 1.99% per transaction. Timeline, 2 to 6 weeks. Aim for 6 months. Reserves. Step 7. Acquire equipment and set up operations essential gear. Compact track loader, CTL, for example, Caterpillar models, $50,000, $90,000 used. Better for uneven terrain than skid steers. Forestry mulcher, $30,000, $50,000. Grapple bucket, $5,000. Stump grinder, $10,000. Excavator or dozer, over $50,000. Heavy-duty truck or trailer, $30,000. Chainsaws and safety gear cost between $2,000 and $5,000, plus dump trucks for debris. Location: rent 0.5 to 1 acre, industrial zoned lot $500, $2,000 a month with gravel, fencing for storage. Hiring: start solo or hire 1 to 2 operators, $45,000, $70,000 a year. With OSHA CDL, use W-2 for compliance, add 20 to 30% for taxes, insurance. Tools like CompanyCam for job tracking. 2026 specs: opt for fuel-efficient models, for example. Tier 4 engines for emissions compliance. Lease, if cash-strapped. Timeline: 1 to 3 months. Cost: $50,000, $150,000 plus. Step 8. Get comprehensive insurance. Types: general liability $1 2M coverage, $5 $10,000 per year, and inland marine for gear theft. Commercial auto: workers' compensation mandatory if employees. Specialized for forestry, for example, via Forestry Mutual or the Hartford process. Get quotes from brokers like Excavating Insurance Partners. Call 317-942-0549. Include risk management, safety training. USA notes: state-mandated minimums vary. For example, higher and higher-risk states like Florida, Imoline, 1 to 2 weeks. Cost $5,000, $10,000 a year. Step 9. Develop marketing strategies and win jobs. Build visibility to secure clients. Digital marketing: create a website, use launch kits for land clearing templates. $500, $2,000. Optimize Google Business Profile free. With photos, reviews, run Facebook, Google Ads, $200 a month. Post before-after content on social media. Networking: partner with builders, developers, join local groups. Use direct mail to undeveloped lot owners. Subcontract initially. 2026 trends: leverage AI for leads, for example, targeted Facebook ads for land clearing. Timeline: ongoing. Initial cost: $500, $5,000. Step 10. Price services competitively and bid jobs. Ensure profitability through smart pricing. Methods: hourly $175, $300 for CTL mulcher, daily $1,500, $2,500, ad mobilization $200, $500, labor, disposal fees, aim for 30 to 50% margins. Bidding: use templates with line items, require 50% deposit. Factors: job size, terrain, permits. Tools: crew day rates for accuracy, for example, via OWNR Ops Guide, 2026 analysis. Adjust for inflation, add 5% buffer. Track with software like LMN. Step 11. Launch operations, ensure quality and scale. Go live and grow sustainably. Daily operations: use checklists for safety, for example. Grind stumps below grade. Conduct client walkthroughs, dispose debris, responsibly recycle mulch. Quality control: request reviews. Use apps for progress photos. Avoid common pitfalls: underestimating permits, misclassifying workers. Scaling: hire more when at 80% utilization. ADD services like tree removal. Monitor revenue, aim for 7-figure growth with systems. Challenges in 2026: supply chain delays for equipment. Environmental scrutiny: emphasize sustainability.